Welcome to Signal TD. My name is Nkechi Badalayode, and it is a pleasure to have you here. If this is your first time to this channel, welcome and do well to share questions and topics that you want us to discuss on this channel. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. Please do well to subscribe and share this video with your friends as well. Today we're going to be taking a very important topic and a sad one as well that happened in Nigeria, Benue State, and I will read a part of the story. It says, young girl gang raped in Benue by four boys who filmed the crime. Young girl gang get raped in Benue by four boys who filmed the crime. It says a young girl was allegedly gang raped. This is from the Ikeji blog. This particular article that I'm reading out was gang raped by four boys in Obi local government area of Benue State. Benue activist Ukan Kurung, who disclosed this on Tuesday, said he watched a video of the crime, but he would not be able to share it. Okay, so in case you have been looking for that video and you haven't found it, is because Ukan has done his best and is doing his best, and rightly so, to actually protect this very sad video from going viral. And this is what Ukan said in his own words. I was depressed yesterday when I came about a story and video clip of over 2 minutes done by 3 to 4 boys who gang raped a young girl in Obi local government area of Benue State. The parents of the boys are making things difficult for the police by shielding and protecting them from arrest, while the father of the girl is also protecting his own status by not wanting to speak. The clan head of the said village has been very fishy and cunning in the whole matter, wanting it to be closed. I will be doing an open letter to Benue State today, pleading with them to mandate the Obi local government chairman to produce those boys for onward persecution. And of course, the story goes on, and the state is promising that they are going to produce those boys. But you see, this is a very sad story, and this is also a reflection of the kind of things, especially when it comes to culture, that teenagers, because they're calling them boys, they're not even men, but it doesn't even matter, men or boys. This particular crime is wrong in all shades. But now talking about boys, gang raping another girl and also trying to film it to make it worse, shows the kind of things that culture is putting in the minds of children unknowingly, in the mind of children, in the mind of young adolescents, in the mind of teenagers. And these things are the things that they now imbibe, whether knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, and then go out there to begin to live out. This is not an excuse for the actions of the boys. Please don't get it wrong. So we're not saying, because of culture, what they've seen in movies, what they've seen in whatever, maybe pornography sites, or what they've seen anywhere in magazines, or what they've even seen modeled to them as an example, now makes this an excuse. No, not at all. It's not an excuse. But it is also important that we take seriously and uphold seriously the values that will shape and craft our culture to be a culture and the land, and most importantly nation, even if you're not Nigerian, wherever you're watching this from, that would be suitable for the young adults that are also growing as well. So when we are fighting for certain causes, it's important that we are objective and we are not subjective or trying to take things personal. We're going to talk about a whole much more of the causes that people fight for now subjectively, and the ripple effect is going to have on the younger generation that people are not thinking about. Okay, and sometimes is it not the same way that people also just take in things from culture and want to also just put it out into their relationship? So instead of following and understanding relationship principles and marriage principles, they see things from culture, maybe from movies. They just see things that people feel like it is okay to do. Let's say sex before marriage as an example, and just go out there to do it. And for some people, they will have the excuse of everybody's doing it, or they'll call certain name, Nneka, Ngozi, um, and etc. Such people are doing it and nothing is happening until a certain person does it, and of course, it is not right to have sex outside marriage. So I'm just using this as an example. But until a certain person does it and something happens, then everybody will come out and begin to talk. But you see, these issues or this particular one that has come out is the same thing with imbibing the seed of wrong values that we are continually accepting in our culture, and we are covering up and saying it's okay, and saying don't judge him or don't judge her, and so on and so forth. And that is how it continues to go. So what are you imbibing? What seed are you imbibing in your life today that is just happening, that you are just imbibing just because it is culturally accepted? What seeds are those? Also, same thing to your relationship. What seeds are you imbibing your relationship just because it is culturally accepted? You want to get married at a certain age by fire, by force, just because it is culturally accepted. You need to think of those things, because at the end of the day, those things are when you just do a thing just because of culture, rather than out of a deep place and a deep sense of value, you are not going to like the outcome. The summary of what I'm trying to say is, it is important that you build yourself a strong value system, a strong core value that you can live by. Core value of integrity, patience, love, sincerity, transparency, righteousness, and kindness, and so on and so forth, and actually live by it, not just say it without living by it. A lot of people say it, a lot of people write it, a lot of people share it, but not many people are living it, and not many people are promoting it for others to also live by. You can't say I'm living by this set of core values and it doesn't really matter what the other person lives by. Is their life. No, you have to encourage people to also come in to live with that set of core values, because it will ultimately do them good. Okay, we're going to talk much more about a lot of important topics, not just trending topics, but important topics on this channel. And I would close this particular video with another very interesting story that I saw. And the story is about a 70-year-old man that raped a girl, an 8-year-old girl. That's raped, and I want to read some of the details. I want to read some of the details here, okay? So let us get right into it. Let's read the details of this 70-year-old man. It's even interesting. The story I'm looking for, I'm seeing another one. I'm seeing another one that is quite, it wasn't even what I was thinking of taking. But then, let us look at it. But before I even go on, this particular story that I want to take is the story of a 70-year-old man that raped an 8-year-old girl, giving her, bribing her, telling her to come and drink gari, to come and drink like actual gari, yes. And from there, that is where he molested her. And this girl did not say anything until she got home and started bleeding. The worst part of it is that the parent, at least allegedly, allegedly, what has been shared on a lot of the blogs that carried these stories that the parents of this particular person, of this particular girl, are not necessarily wanting to press any charges. Are not necessarily wanting to press any charges. And the reason why given by them is they don't want to be banned from the village. I believe they said the father said they don't want to. The father said he doesn't want any course laid. It's just a lot of things that by the time you look at it, and I'm not saying that the case is not being pursued. I'm just telling you the feedback of the parents. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not saying that the case is not being pursued. And when you look at it, you begin to wonder why a lot of important cases are not being pursued, and the ones that seem to come out are the ones, of course, are deemed superheroes. It's just because a lot of people don't see the reason why they should take it as a big deal. A lot of people don't see the reason why they should take it as a big deal. And when the parents of the girl is not taking it as a big deal, then, I mean, except somebody from the society just decides to take it up and not let it rest, is something that would more or less just go to rest. We more or less just go to rest without much being said about it. And of course, a new news, or should I say new trend, is going to come up. Let us read the story. It says the 70-year-old man, Nicholas Ake, who raped a 5-year-old girl, 5-year-old, I beg your pardon, not 8-year-old, 5-year-old girl in Benue State, has been brought to the police headquarters in Makurdi on Tuesday, February 9th. Recall that the suspect, who is HIV positive, was arrested for repeatedly molesting the minor in Nakagwa, West local government area of the state. This is a lot. According to activist Ukan Kuru, the man lured the girl to his house, gave her gari to drink, and carried out his act. And, it just went on and on. So let me read the parts of the... All right, let me read the part of what the parent had to say. He said, I also spoke to the mother on why she did not want a case and even went to the police station to have the man released. But she said they are both from the same village, and her husband, blind, that's, I believe her husband is blind, asked her to drop the case before village elders will lay a curse on them or ban them from the village if anything happens to the old man. Her husband said they should rather settle amicably outside of this police station. We need to do better in placing value on human lives, and that is where I'm going to bring this video to a close today. Of course, there are a lot of things to talk about, and we'll keep talking about it over here, but this is a very important point and lesson that I want to share with us today. We need to place value on human lives. We need to place value on human lives. And we have a lot of kind Nigerians, don't get it wrong. Absolutely, absolutely kind. We have a lot of kind Nigerians. But we still have a lot of ignorant Nigerians who really don't know how to go about things, or to go about justice, or to go about what valuing human life can be like or should be like. Because this 8-year-old girl, she's going to grow up now with a lot of issues if she's not baptized. As in, if she doesn't get to meet Jesus, and if she doesn't get to be cleansed from the inside out emotionally, through therapy and everything that is necessary. Because a lot of adults who have a lot of challenges now, when you go deeper and when you dig deeper, it started with their childhood. It started with their childhood. So if you're a single mother listening to me, if you are a parent, if you are a sister, if you are a friend, whatever the case may be, please let us do well to talk more about these cases, and let us do well to show more value to human lives. Showing value to human life doesn't have to come when a person rapes a 5-year-old girl and we start going to court or we're running helter-skelter. No, but just in everyday things, in things we do daily. This man doesn't have any excuse. Say his wife left him, it doesn't matter. And the worst is that this man has HIV. That is even another conversation that wasn't even put in this particular In this particular article I'm reading from Linda Ikeji's blog, and I'm talking about whether the girl has been infected or whatnot, whatever the case may be. So please let us think about putting value, not just values now, not just having value, but putting value into human life, being concerned about other people, looking out for what other people are going through, and of course being concerned. You see your neighbor's child, you see a person not feeling too good, you are in a compound that you've not noticed your neighbor since like 2 weeks or so. Those are things that we should deliberately do to and steps that we should deliberately take to show value to the human lives around us. Do well to drop your comments as well. Of course, ask questions and direct and point me to points, an important part of the story that I probably did not share here, and of course topics you also want me to talk about in the future. Do well to check our previous video for our Q&A, questions bothering you and answers that are very relevant to your specific situation. We've come to the end of today's video, and I thank you for subscribing and sharing to your friends. I'll see you in the next video. My name is Sage. Do well to check the description below the video to